Listen closely. If you hear the sound of a marble dropping on the floor above you tonight, don't ignore it. But whatever you do, don't count how many times it bounces. I lived in a subdivided flat in an old tenement building in Sham Shui. The walls were thin enough to hear my neighbor's television, and the ceiling was constantly echoing with noises from the floor above. For months, I heard the same sound every night at 3:12 a.m., the distinct clack of a glass marble hitting the floor, followed by several smaller bounces. Clack, tap, tap, tap. I thought it was just a kid playing late, so I ignored it. But one night, the sound didn't stop. It kept bouncing for over an hour. Frustrated and sleep-deprived, I went upstairs to the 5th floor to complain. When I reached the unit directly above mine, I found the door wide open. The flat was completely gutted, empty of furniture, and covered in a thick layer of dust that hadn't been disturbed in years. I stood in the center of that empty room, and that's when I heard it again. The sound of the marble didn't come from the floor above me this time. It came from the floor I was standing on, right behind my heels. Clack. I froze. I didn't turn around. I looked down at the dust on the floor, and I saw a single clear marble sitting there. There were no footprints in the dust except mine, but as I watched, a second marble appeared out of thin air and dropped onto the floor, then a third, then a dozen. They didn't roll, they just sat there, vibrating. Then I heard a voice, not a scream, but a soft, polite whisper of an old woman coming from the empty corner of the room. She said, "Excuse me, young man, could you help me find my eyes? I dropped them and they keep rolling away." I didn't run. I couldn't move. I watched as the marbles on the floor began to turn slowly, and I realized they weren't glass. They were wet. They had tiny red veins, and they all turned at the same time to look up at me. I backed out of the room and moved out the next day. The landlord later told me that the previous tenant, an old lady, had died alone in that flat and wasn't found for weeks. By the time they found her, the stray cats they had taken parts of her. Check your ceiling tonight. If you hear that clack sound, don't complain. And if you feel something small and round roll against your foot under the covers, don't reach down to pick it up. She's still looking for them, and she might think yours are a better fit.
The story has ended, but they have noticed you now. You are already deep within the hollows. To ensure you find your way back, or perhaps to ensure you never leave, you must mark your presence. Like the shadow you saw, share the whispers you heard, and if you are truly brave, subscribe to Midnight Hollows, because some things only exist in the dark. See you next midnight.